Like we back. This is part two, part two. Greetings, everyone. This is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation tonight. And the day was November. Why September's on my mind? November 23rd, 2025. It was in that daytime. We're in the night between Sunday and Monday. So Sunday was um, November 23rd, 2025. And today and this night we call Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Excuse me, that's Fight Fire with Truth. And this is open conversation where we have open conversation, open dialogue on whatever's going on, open conversation, whatever's happening. We can talk majority about everything that you like, but when it comes to the private side, we save that. When we get deep into the private side, we save that for Tuesday nights, and that's for Zoom only for those who have sent in the NDA and they would like more information about becoming private. That's for that. But other than that, we're right here on Saturday or Assembly of the Righteous, the night after Sunday, which is Fight Fire with Truth, and tomorrow, which is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. So we just had a little small conversation a little earlier on part one. My brother Gus was just sharing some information about a conversation we had a little earlier compared to something I just put in the post, which is I call it correct your status before 2026 or before 2026, which is something that a brother shared that that is happening. And I want to share some scripture real quick that just hit me. That's what this is about. Coming out of the situations that we've been not realizing we was held in these situations, but these have been placed upon us, and we've been in this situation since the time of Rome and Greek and Rome, since the Greek and Roman Empire. And this is what I share. I try to let people understand this system is the Roman system, and the Roman has taken over the earth. And the earth has been engulfed under the Roman system, but the people can't see it. A lot of people not paying no attention. And their fate is in their hands because it says the scripture said, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Now, it's a lot of knowledge out there, but the correct knowledge is what he's talking about, which is his law, his word, and everything about the scriptures is actually talking about is for your inheritance. A lot of people don't know it. They don't get it because they've been taught amiss. But in Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1, 2, and 3, Zephaniah 2, verse 1, 2, and 3 says, "Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired." This is us gathering ourselves together because we're coming into our proper status. Why? Before the decree bring forth, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of Yah come upon you, before the day of Yah's anger come upon you. You see that? A lot of people don't know the Father is angry today. A lot of people don't know the Creator is angry today. Why? Because we have forsook and went against His laws, and the world is under idolatry. How is it under idolatry? I was just sharing, people love mammon more than the Creator. What is mammon when you look it up? Mammon is money. That's where everybody's mind is at. Money, 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 money. One conversation I had this morning, this rising. The same brother I was talking about, one of the brothers I was talking about a little earlier in part one, plus a sister called me earlier this rising after I shared that link that I just talking about the getting your status correct your status before 2026. This sister and this brother called me, and we had a conversation this morning, this rising. And when she heard the information, she was more like, man, I need to get with that. I supposed to been did this. I supposed to been did. I said, yeah, I've been talking to y'all about it. But they just ignore me. See, I'm that person that people just look over until it's too late. Stuff that I've been sharing all the time, but then they want to come running at the last moment. You know, and not just them. I'm not just pointing these people out. A lot of people do that. My children do it. At the last moment, they want to come running when the door is open. But just like Noah, when the doors are shut, ain't no way in, and it ain't my fault if you can't get in because you already had a chance. You know what I'm saying? When Noah was calling everybody, telling them to come on, and all the seven clean animals and the 2 unclean animals, which the world don't. If you don't read, you don't know that because you only think there's 2 of every animal went in, but it's 7 of every clean animal and 2 of every unclean animal enter into the ark according to the scriptures. See, as we just heard, and like I shared in the video, if 2026 is your last chance to correct your status, and if you don't, you'll always be an indentured servant, which is a slave, which is a citizen, and you can't change your status because you're locked in. That's going to be a sad day for a lot of people. Why? Because they choose to be like the grasshopper and the butterfly, just flapping, instead of trying to get themselves together like the ant. Get yourself, because winter's coming. Yep, winter's coming. It's just about here. And it's going to be cold. Now, how many people got themselves together? So I gave a little demonstration about what happened with me and the position that I'm in without giving the full detail because, like I said, it's private. You can't share private information in a public status. I tried telling people this before, but they too busy. Man, well, you're supposed to do this. That's the point. People have no understanding. There's certain things that you can do and certain things you can't do. The people in the boardroom in the president's office, what we call president, in Trump in them office, they don't let the world know what they talking about behind closed doors. That's private. When someone is having a meeting, everybody, the world ain't invited to this meeting that this business is having. This is a business meeting. It's private. This is what people don't realize. Well, man, we should share with everybody. People ain't ready for the information. That's why it's private. A lot of people don't want to hear. They don't want to adhere. And a lot of them don't have an understanding of the reason why. And you know what? I had to come to that realization. I had to come to that realization because people don't want to listen. You can give people strict information and tell them, this is how this go. This is where it's supposed to go. And they'll still do it wrong. Well, I thought I just told you this and this. Example. First, you got to put the pink down. And then you got to go and put the orange down. And then after that, then you're supposed to put the green down. You tell them one by one. Then the yellow goes this way. And then last but not least, the black is last. Don't forget, pink, orange, green, yellow, and then black. They'll come back. Well, I'm going to put this down. That and that and that and that. Now, how did I, now, did you go ask them, let me see your information. Oh, okay. I put the green down, the pink, then the black, then the yellow. Then I didn't say that. I specifically said the pink, the orange, the yellow, the green, then the black. That's what I specifically said. At least I think that's what I just said as well. But when you tell people certain things, that's why we have you sign the NDA. Because when you do that, then you go start mixing stuff, it ain't our fault. It ain't our fault. I told you what to do. You chose to do what you want to do. We have a lot of people that do that. That's why people ain't ready. And just like Brother Gus said earlier, which I have in the information that's in your email and that's in your calendar when I send it to you. You have how to conduct yourself as a private in your private office. Then put it like that. You have the information on how to conduct yourself in your private office. And also you have a certain rule to understand to study. That's all. That's what I just give you at the beginning. Besides filling out the NDA, the non NDA I've got the name. I'm saying NDA for something. I've got the name. Non-disclosure agreement. Non-disclosure agreement. That's what it's called. Non-disclosure agreement. You're not supposed to disclose the information. Why? It's because it's private. And you'll find out more information once you get to that point, once you get into the class. But once you get there, you'll have a better understanding. Because a lot of people just don't listen. They don't have an honor of being in the private office. When I say honor, I'm talking about a certain point. They don't have the honor because they don't know how to code it. They don't know how to control their actions. They don't know how to control themselves when it comes to conversations and confrontations. You know, and this is like Gus, like you said, it's about studying self. Remember you said that earlier, Gus?
Absolutely.
It's about studying self. And I've been doing that for years. Now, just because you can have a conversation with going back and forth, having a conversation, but it's the way the conversation, and it's the way the conversation runs. If the conversation is going where, okay, we see what's going on and we giving facts about the conversation, what's going on, and when you start getting hypothetical, now you way out, it's like, you all over the place when you hypothetical. You got to be on facts, on point, and what you know. And that same conversation like me and Gus was sharing in part one, I talked what I knew. The other brother was talking, well, what if? And he's talking about the past and talk about what you know in your stance and what you know. I told him what I know, and then I told him about, well, I asked him that. Well, we can't talk for him here. I said, we talked about it. I asked him that. And I told you what he said, because I'm not going to lie on him. This is what he said because I asked him, because I knew, because when I asked him that, you remember this? Yeah, I remember he said that. Okay, then everything we said was still in the same conversation. And I leave it at that. We got to start getting back to be men and start being on point of what we know and what we're talking about. Because if y'all recognize women the only ones, well, what if? How could? Well, they should. No, this is what it is. We on facts, on what we know, and we make it move. We move. That's men. That's what men do. Men speaks on facts. We speak on what we know. Other than that, majority of us, we got the mindset of a woman because that's who majority of our boys and young men been raised by. Women. Hypothetical. Well, what if? What if? What if was the fifth? How many times we heard that? What if was the fifth? We all to be practically drunk or at least tipsy. You see what I'm saying? I used to go to different places when I would sell my alkaline water and alkaline teas. I go to certain places. I'm talking to these women about this that time when I was just indexed. I wasn't in the position I'm in now, but just talking about indexing. Well, I'm telling them, just to say, if you were to run the red light by mistake or whatever, or run a stop sign and you don't hit nobody. Well, what if you did? And that used to get on my nerve. What if? We ain't talking about if. That's the damage. If somebody hit you, that's the damage. That's the crime. The crime is the damage. If somebody hit you, hurt you, or harm you, that's the key. Not if somebody did this, there's no damage. But what if you did? And this is what I'm talking about. What if? Hypothetical, that's women. We got to get on stuff that you know, and what you be talking about. Sometimes we come across stuff that we think we know, or something that we heard, but we don't go no further into it to find out the facts in it. And that's all. And me, I tell a person, if I heard something, well, I heard this, but I don't know. But if I know something, I hear it, I can give you the facts to it because I know this and that. If I know this book compared to somebody hypothetically saying, I said, well, what did this say right here? Well, I don't know. Well, but this is what it say. See what I'm saying? Facts. And this is what we got to get back to. Other than that, it's hearsay. Oh, I heard this. No, I ain't going by what I heard. Tell me what you know. Now, if I heard something, I say, well, I heard it, but I can't give you the facts on that. Now, maybe you know something that you can help me out with, and that I can get that, and I can put the facts together later. Because this is how people inquire to come to find out the truth. A lot of these cops and stuff out here, these investigators and stuff like that, they investigate. That's why it's called investigate. They investigate to put the pieces together. They don't know the facts. They don't come up with everything. Well, this is what happened. No, they're investigating and they're listening to what's being said. They can hear the lie in the conversation. When you catch the lie, okay, you didn't say that before. You said this because the truth don't change. The truth don't change. You start saying, I remember a brother, I'm just gonna say a brother in a class. He shared some things that he was going through, and I'm just gonna type of use this as a conversation to give an understanding of what I'm saying. This brother was going through something, and he ended up getting in contact with me through another brother, and he wanted some help to try to get out of it because whatever he did, whatever was going on, and the whole thing is that. How should I change this around so I don't make it look like the way it really is? Because I don't want everybody knowing the business of this brother. Don't nobody know who he is, though, but just the fact. This brother get in contact with me. He tell me one story. He tell me this story. Well, I was traveling and I had this beer. Let me use beer. Drink, beer, what have you. I was traveling and and I happened to get stopped by the cops. They happened to stop. They come up to my vehicle and, they came up to my vehicle and I had my beer in the, in my glove compartment. Okay. My beer was in my glove compartment. So, I just left the beer in the glove compartment. My little small liquor can over in there. In the glove compartment. So they left and then they come back saying they want to check the car and see where my beer is at. I said, what beer? My beer. And then all of a sudden he tells another story that the beer was under the seat. The beer rolled up under the seat. But it's supposed to be in the glove compartment. Then another one is that it was on the side of them. The beer can's on the side of them, but the cops saw, but the other cops saw it. They left and came back, but they stopped me first. The first stop was intentionally for whatever reason they stopped them for. Red light, stop, whatever it was they stopped them for, but it wasn't about the beer. All of a sudden now it's about the beer. But the key is, I'm listening at the lies. You just said one thing, now you said something else. See, that's when that's how you get caught up in lies. The truth don't change. If the beer was in the glove compartment the whole time, that's what you're going to keep saying. And this is what I'm talking about. People lie. They lie to get out of what even though that if they wrong, and this is what I mean, accountability and responsibility. See what I'm saying, Gus, in that information we talked about?
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying? Honor. This is how you supposed to be an honor. If you're doing something wrong, number one, if you something you ain't supposed to be doing wrong that you know that's wrong, You ain't supposed to be doing in the first place. If you caught up, that's your fault. You know what you're not supposed to be doing, what you are to be doing. You know your rights. If it's something that you are right to do and they're just violating your rights, you got to stand up for your rights. If you're going to do something, stand on it. If you're going to do something that you know that you ain't got no problem with, I rode around 2 years, no license plate. When I purchased my van, I got a title. I didn't get no license plates purposely, no registration or no insurance purposely. I stood on mine. Didn't get scared, and I won all my cases. One way or another, I won. But the point is, I stood on principle. Not about one thing and then lying about here and lying about that. And, okay, I'm hearing through your lies. Now, your integrity is shot. Right. You see what I'm saying? Your integrity is shot. Now, how are you going to be a child of the Most High with your integrity shot? I can't trust you. You gonna lie to me in my face and you changing up the story thinking that I ain't heard what you said. Right. You see what I'm saying, bro? So that's the whole point I'm getting at. Know what you're talking about, be men, and understand what you're saying. Don't argue about the fact of something you don't know what you're talking about or you don't even know half the story. And if you don't even know what you know, stand on what you know. And everyone say, well, I don't know about the rest of it. Okay, good. Then we can see that's the whole point. That's how we build. If you don't know everything, you just know what you know, stand on what you know. Don't argue about something you don't really know or that you may have come across or that somebody told you. And that's on everything. And that's what I'm saying about the integrity. We got to start being men. That's the only way we're going to start being men in the earth and start standing up with each other against the forces that's against us in the first place. Right. You see what I'm saying? See, the Father is with the just. And that's what people got to realize. People out here doing their thing, and they think they're getting away with stuff or whatever, but the Father is with the just. And you got to sit back and look at things wholeheartedly with certain things that the way that they are. And I just try to be straight up with people. Some people say, hey, I'm that person people love to hate. Don't make me no different. The creator, like, hey, well, I'm the creator's son. I don't worry about what nobody think about me. I don't even worry about it. I'm coming with truth. I'm coming with facts. And when I'm here to give, when I told the creator I was going to do, long as the creator got me, I ain't worried about nothing. Creator gave me my woman. She the best thing that the Father gave me. Gave me my woman. And anybody who's coming in the fold, we going to work together. Anybody else is of this system. Because this system comes to kill, steal, lie, and destroy. That's what the system is about. And if anybody's doing it, you're with the system. We got to get things straight. People don't understand. This is our world. The Creator gave this to us, but with everybody looking for a Jesus to come, and that was the biggest lie that was ever told to everybody. And the world is going to whoring, and I share that all the time in Revelation 13. The world is going to whoring after something that the system gave to them to believe. It's something, bro, for real. But I tell you what, when you start coming to what you're saying, start seeing what you're seeing, boy, you're gonna be woo. And then when you make it to the gates of heaven, that's the next phase. That's when you get past the private office. Gates of heaven, whoo! It's gonna be the gates of heaven. You're gonna be able to feel it. Watch. Serious, bro.
Yeah, I did have a question.
Come on with it, bro. Come on with it.
I don't know if that's, on the private side or whatever, but, and me sitting here just going through, I'm looking up because, I'm looking up information and
come on, talk about it. I can let you know if it is or not.
The mailbox rule.
No, I got that there for people to understand. We don't want to talk about that now because we're going to talk about that Tuesday. But I'm glad you put that out there because the mailbox rule is what people need to know. That's the farther I'm going to go with that because that's what, and what you're looking at is good you studying, bro. It's right. And that's why I say study that information so you can understand it. Once you understand it, it's a part of you. Once it become a part of you, you know how to stand on it. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. But yeah, we're gonna say that for Tuesday.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
That's the reason why I'm only going so far with saying what's just before the mailbox rule. That's why I'm only saying so much. If you notice, I didn't say the actual name. I'm just saying private office. You notice that?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So, like I said, this is private. You know, the world don't need to know what the and when I say the world, I'm talking about any because this is an open platform. YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram is an open platform. So I only share only so much on that. But when it comes to the Zoom, that's totally private, and that's when we're there to open up and talk.
Right. Okay.
So, but you got it though. You got it in front of you. Everything, bro, and that's good. You studying, bro. That's on point. Cause that's the first step. But you're gonna be shocked when I start breaking down the information to you.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yep.
And you want to know it all right now.
I know what you mean, but that's the beauty. That's the beauty of making people wait because that way you're studying and like, man, I want to know. I want to know. And then just getting it, when you get it, you're gonna absorb it. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Guaranteed, bro. That's the reason I'm doing everything strategically, one by one by one by one. And when they get this, whoo, they'll be ready for the next. See, they're gonna absorb what they learned this week for next week.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I know how to teach, bro. I can teach well, and if you want it, you're gonna get it. Yeah, buddy, bro. And it's been growing too, bro. It's been growing.
I see that.
And I like to have order. You know what I'm saying? Everything decent and in order. Like I said, anybody who don't have that NDA in, got to go before we go on further than what you're reading right now. Dang, my pages is coming out. Oh man, I gotta get me another Bible. Ooh boy, Miss Maybe getting mm. My baby is getting some wear and tear on it.
I can't quote the dates, but they talked about the fact that uh Jesus' name, just the whole Jesus aspect
Mm-hmm.
was not, they're talking about the billions of years before that even came into play.
Right.
How, now if you look and see now, right? Well, that's when I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and if we being trained up as a child, right? All right, all you know is what you know. So,
That's right.
so even when you think you know, okay,
Right.
you think you know, or you rebel against what you were taught, right?
Right.
Still operating under the rules, the guise thereof, because you don't know.
I agree
And
with you.
so there's a difference in one of the things that come to my mind was the difference in Peter, Judas, and Peter. And from the text, you know, both of them saying both of them uh, All right. Well, what was
Mm-hmm.
the difference? All right.
Can I share with you on that? Do you have another form of device with you besides what you're on? Do you have like a? I mean, are you on a computer and do you have your phone with you, or are you just on
Yeah,
one?
I got a tablet.
You got a tablet. Do me a favor, cause I want to share something with you real quick. I'm glad you made that point. I'm glad you shared that, cause I'm about to share something with you. What the world has been duped and tricked on,
Mm-hmm.
right out the Bible and right out of information. If you got a tablet, I want you to pull up, go to an etymology dictionary in the tablet, and then pull up,
Hold on, go etymology.
go to get an etymology dictionary, because this is where the words really first started at, but they've been adding things to it as well. But I'm gonna show you something in a minute. Do you have your Bible with you?
Yeah, I do have one.
Okay. Open up your Bible up to Matthew 1, Matthew chapter 1.
Oh, let me find
Because there's a lot of things that we got to put two and two together to see the truth. And it's going to be hard to accept because it was like that with me when I first saw it. But I asked the Creator to open my eyes, and believe me, when you do that, you're going to be able to see. But this comes with a lot of studying and understanding. Put this back on.
it. Matthew 2.
Matthew chapter 1. But first, go to the etymology dictionary.
Okay. I got it pulled up. Etymology
Yeah, when you pull up
dictionary.
etymology, yeah, put in there, put the word Christ in there to the definition of Christ, Christ, and read that for me.
Definition. The anointed, synonymous with the translating of the Greek Hebrew Messiah, a title given to Jesus of
Whoa,
Nazareth.
whoa, 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 whoa! Slow down, slow down, slow down. Say everything up to Jesus again.
Okay. The anointed.
That's what Christ mean, right?
Right.
That's actually what Christ mean. But go ahead and keep reading up to Jesus.
Okay. Synonymous with the translating to the Greek Hebrew Messiah.
Exactly. Christ
Title.
and Messiah both means anointed, and anointing. That's all Christ means. That's all Messiah means. But keep reading.
Given to Jesus of Nazareth.
You see that? Now go back a little bit just before when you said right after Messiah and read again.
Synonymous with the translating of Greek and Hebrew.
There you go.
It was a title given to Jesus of Nazareth.
There you go. It was a title given to who?
Jesus.
Repeat that again 3 or 4 times. I want you to repeat that again. A title given to, say that 3 or 4 times.
A title given to Jesus.
A what?
A title given to Jesus.
Say it again.
A title given to Jesus.
So Christ is a what? It's a title given to. So when you say exactly, we say the anointed one, but it really means one who is anointed, because all the prophets was anointed. You see what I'm saying? Now, what I want you to read is Matthew 1:16. Go to what Matthew 1:16 and read that real quick. I wanted you to get that understanding. But you got that understanding? 1:16.
I got it. Let's see. 16. And Jacob, the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom Jesus was born, who is called the Messiah.
Okay, what book you reading out of?
This is like the New Reverse.
Okay. Now in the King James, but if you notice what it said in the book you reading, it says Jesus who is called the Messiah, right? Messiah means anointed, anointing, right? It's a title, right? In your regular King James version, it says Jesus who is called Christ. Christ and Messiah only means anointed, or anointing in English. So this is where the world has been duped at that one point. From that point on, his name is Jesus Christ throughout the whole book. This is subliminal message. The world has been duped because the Council of Nicaea gave it. Now I got information. I could break down Revelation 13 and show you where all this is engulfed in Revelation chapter 13. Old Rome is Revelations 13 verse 1 through 10. New Rome is 11 through 18. Old Rome is under Caesar. New Rome is under the Pope. I break all that down. And the dragon, the red dragon in Revelations 12 and 3 is talking about Greek. Greek is the great red dragon. And I go into prophecy and show you the facts in Daniel chapter 2, 7, and 8. Chapter 2 and chapter 7 and chapter 8. I show you the prophesied what was going to happen. And when it came to pass, I called Revelations the revealing. Revelation is the revealing of the stuff that was told in the past. But a lot of people don't know that. So this is what I do, bro. I made a promise to the Creator. He brought me to the truth. And the truth is in many different forms. In the Bible, today's time, in money, in your culture, in the truth, in the bondage we been in, all the stuff, bro. I break all that down. I show you I show you the timings in the scriptures, and I show you the timing on what's going on today. See what I'm saying? But the key is that right there. Everybody is worshiping Jesus when Jesus was, and I say this, a lot of people, they do that, but Jesus never existed. The name of the prophet name was actually Yahshua. But they put Jesus there. And the reason why they put Jesus in the place of Yahshua is because they made a story that they gave to the world, because this is not Yahshua's story. This is the story that they made of Yahshua, but they modified it. You know how you ever looked at you might understand what I'm about to say. Have you ever heard of a book that somebody wrote? Somebody wrote a book, right? And then somebody modified the book and made a movie out of it. It isn't like the book said it, but they made a movie out of it, but they modified and changed some things.
Absolutely.
That's what they did with the story of Yahshua with Jesus. That is what and like you said, but see, you got to understand, in 400 years, the Father said that we was going to go through this. We're going to be in bondage for 400 years. And then he going to judge that nation. We were in bondage 400 years. And then now he judged the nation. And now it's time for us to wake up. And afterwards, which is what's coming, is the great substance. The great substance is what's coming, but you got to be ready for it. It's got to be for those who choose to stand to be in the Creator's sight, who does His will. And I know that I asked the Creator, He brought me to do and come to understand. Like I said, hey, I'm only here to give His word. It ain't my word, and I give what He has allowed me to come to see and understand. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't believe what I'm saying, and people don't look at me because, you know what? Because I'm not the norm. Everybody else going with what was given to them by the enemy. But they don't realize the enemy gave it to them. But the Creator said that. That's the whole thing. It's all a part of the Creator's word. The Creator said that if you don't keep my law, I'm going to send you in a land that ye know not. There you're going to serve other gods, wood and stone, gods your fathers have known. The fact that the Creator said it means it's going to happen. It all depends on who you are and where you are in the time that it comes. I was in it at one time, but I've awoken from that dark sleep where I was. So when you study the word to see what the word say and stop going, not you, I'm just saying in general. If we start studying what the word actually say and stop going with doctrines of men, which is the Council of Nicaea. I think I shared this last week. Yeah, history on Monday. I did one called history last Monday. I went into history and I actually broke down and showed where Constantine in 325 AD had bishops together that came up with Christianity. And then it was another sect called Arians. The Arians and the bishops was together, and the bishop kept saying it wasn't even Jesus at first. They made the story. They came up with a name Isus, which is in the 1611 Bible, IESUS. So up until that time, and then when they came up with the J, that's when they changed the I to a J, and that's where Jesus comes from. If you go to the 1611 Bible, you see the word Isus, your mind can't phantom a figure to that name. Why? Because it's not there. The mind can't even think of, if you go to 1611 Bible, even if you pull it up right now in your tablet, just pull up a 1611 Bible and go to somewhere in the New Testament where you see the name Jesus at. You're going to see the name Isus. And when you see Isus, you can't even think of the Caucasian with long stringy hair, and you can't even put that in your mind because it don't go with him. You can't think about it. Why? It's because they never gave you an image of Isus. But in Revelations chapter 13, 14, and 15, it says, and the beast made an image. They made an image to the beast, should I say. The beast is the Roman Empire. The image was Jesus. Jesus was the image to the Roman Empire. When you think of Christianity, you think of Jesus. You can't get Jesus without Christianity. You can't get Christianity without Jesus. They go together. And the symbol to Christianity is the cross. You see what I'm saying? That's the symbol. That symbol is a symbol of death. You see what I'm saying? People don't think because they've been taught. And as long as you're taught, it's no different than the language that we're speaking right. This is not our language. We're speaking English. If you close your mind and say Englishman, what does an Englishman look like? First thing you'll think of is a Caucasian man.
Right.
But we're speaking English. This is not our language. But see, we're so deep into the fog, into the hellhole that we can't even see. We can't even see that this is not even a. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But I try to get people to see things in a reason and in a way so they can start saying, wait a minute, he right. We really ain't thought about this. We ain't thought about what's going on. We ain't thought about the history. We just taking whatever they give us. No different than the information you're about to learn. The information that you're about to learn and the information that you signed an NDA for, you should, by the time you got 18, you're supposed to have all that information plus more. But this system has taught the people to be slaves. That's what I'm saying. It's stuff that's going on people don't know.
There's a lot of people that know. I mean, what else do you know? What you've been taught.
There you go.
They understand, okay, growing up, you had mentors that you relish, and, it could have been a parent, could have been your parents, it could have been a coach.
Yep.
And everybody, you know what, though? So, when you think of following the crowd, right? Everybody is saying the same thing.
There you go.
And won't that the goal to get everybody to see it this way? And so when you talk about Isus versus Jesus, right, and not being able to attach, there's not an image to attach because, I mean,
in the 1611 Bible, go ahead, I'm listening.
They would let us read. I mean, come on, King James wrote the book, man.
Actually, he has some scholars write it, but he's the author of it. Yeah, he's the author of it.
And you know, it's a story about the lady that sent her husband to the store to purchase a ham, and they sent her husband to the store. He came back with the ham, and the wife said, "Honey, why did you cut the ends of the ham off?" He said, "Babe, I don't know. Why did you want the ends of the hams cut off?" And his wife said, "Well, that's the way my mama always had it done. If it was good enough for her, it's good enough for me."
There you go.
So mama came over the house that evening, and they was having dinner. And so the daughter asked the mom, said, "Mama, why do you always have the ends of the hair cut off?" And the mama said, "Because that's the way my mama always did. And if it was good enough for her, it was good enough for me."
There you go.
And now the daughter's, intrigued with solving this 3-generation mystery. So she called Grandma. She got Grandma on the phone. She asked Grandma, "Grandma, why did you always have that butcher to cut off the ends of the ham?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Baby, because the roast that I was cooking it in was too small to cook with both ends on." And when you think about that story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the logic behind, the years of misinformation, like, obviously we was in captive. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So in captive years, right? The ones that had masters or people that would, when we wasn't allowed to read, to give them a book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was a reason and a methodology why they did things the way that they did. And they got to understand, when you recognize we God's people, right? How do we get them? Because we got a connection we got a connection that they didn't have.
Uh-huh.
And so what could they do? Because they couldn't stop us from reading because the information got out, right?
That's right.
So they had to create a story. Create one. And here's the thing, right? Okay, because, and I think I was that type of parent, like coming up, because that's how my parents was with me. I tell you to do something, do it. And they ask why. Why?
Don't.
Why what?
Exactly.
Better not.
Exactly.
So.
I'm one of. Hey, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Because that's what I told you to do.
That's right.
I ain't gonna tell you no more. Damn, but you know what though? If you think about this, then obviously we gotta raise up. We talking about raising up the child the way that they should go. All right. And so as parents, you know what I'm saying, we've had experiences that they haven't had. At the same time, right? You don't know the genius that's in these little beings.
There you go. That's true.
Okay. And so at the same time, what you learn, I've had to come to terms with, my mama won't write about it.
That's
She
true.
won't write about a lot of things. Now, her intentions were in the right place,
Mm-hmm.
because she operated off of limited information, and then understanding if she never took the time to go and really study herself, all she's doing is passing on information. And so when we talk about when we're supposed to raise up the child
And the way it should
the way
go.
it should be,
Mm-hmm.
the way that it should go, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are you gonna raise up something when you don't know no different?
That's right.
So
What?
there's a structure in which, because you know how we can be as kids that you want to contain them in, but at the same time, you want to relish that creativity that they have in them because perhaps that wasn't deposited in you. So recognizing the gifts that every individual has is paramount, man. But, think about this Jesus thing right now. I can see how it's challenging for the majority of people on the planet.
Right.
Because, that's the most read book. It's, to my knowledge,
That's true.
that exists. Man, that thing been going on a long time. For them to have changed things up in that manner. And so when we think about this season, and I watch, like there's a lot of youth when I go to Facebook and things of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this generation, it's a lot of young folk that's woke.
That's true.
It's a lot of young folk. You know what I'm saying? Ain't on that old, ain't on what Mama and them is on. Like they, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was the moon or what, but we can see how people are coming into more of an awareness. And so that's all I wanted to say.
Well, let me share. I got something for you on that, what you just shared. The key is right here. I'm going to give you Daniel chapter 12, verse 9 and 10. 8, 9, and 10, I believe. But let me hit you. I'm going to show you something. What you just shared, right? And also, by fact, let me hit Ezekiel 14, the end of 14 first. Right here at Ezekiel 14 and 23.
Daniel chapter 12.
We're going there. We're going to go there, but this hit me first. Daniel 23, okay. About what you just said about the young folk, right?
Okay.
Ezekiel 14 and 23. Actually, 22 and 23. Matter of fact, let's start at 20. And the reason I'm going there is because I'm going to bring to you about one of the plagues that happened in 2020. This is one of the judgments of the Creator. Tell me when you got it. Ezekiel chapter 14. We'll start at 19. We'll start at 19. You ready?
Hold on.
Ezekiel 14, verse 19. Well, you getting? Let me get my glass. Tell me when you got it. Yeah, just before 15. Ezekiel chapter 14, the last 4 verses. Okay, you ready? You ready? Okay. This is a twofold compared to what we was talking about. I was telling you about the pestilence, which is the plague. That's the pestilence. And you just talking about the children being wise today. I'm going to show you this, and then we're going to go to Daniel chapter 12. Okay. Verse 19, it says, or if I send a pestilence into that land and pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast. This was the coronavirus in 2020. This is a pestilence. Though Noah, and this is the righteous, it said, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith Yah. See, as the Creator said, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter. They shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. You see that?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can't help save nobody. All you can do is give them like I'm giving. It's up to them to accept it or reject it. That's the reason why Noah, Daniel, and Job is an example. They're examples. They shall deliver their own souls by their righteousness. Verse 21. Now these are the four sword judgments of the Creator that he used throughout time. For thus saith Yah, that's how you know the Creator speaking. For thus saith the Creator, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, which is upon us, we all over the earth. Jerusalem is Israel. The sword, which is war, and the famine, that's when there's no food. No food is grown because it's drought. And the noisome beast, that's the beast and that's the different beasts that he sent amongst the people. You remember back in about 7 to 10 years ago about all the beasts in Australia. They were sending the Creator sent spider, frogs, rats. You remember that?
Yeah.
And noisome beasts and the pestilence. The pestilence is the plagues. That's the pestilence. To cut off from it man and beast. Now it was two pestilence in the time of 2020 and 2021 and 22. Those pestilence was first, it was the coronavirus in 2020, and then the other pestilence was by man, which was the jab, the coronavirus jab. That was another pestilence through man. See, the Creator allowed that to happen. To me, that was the mark of the beast. That was the mark of the system. The system put the jab into the people to cut off man and beast. Verse 22. Yet, check this out. Yet, behold, therein shall be left a remnant. There's going to be a few people that shall be brought forth, both sons and daughters. This is what you was talking about. This is why I came here first. Sons and daughters, what you talking about in this day and time. Behold, they shall come forth unto you. They will come unto us, and ye shall see their way and their doings. And ye shall be comforted, you shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, even concerning all that I have brought upon it, meaning upon us. Not just Jerusalem, where people think when they see Jerusalem, they think it's talking about the land. It's talking about the world, where we are, because we all over the world. We're spread. So wherever happens, we are there because we were the transgressors that transgressed the Creator's law. So when it says Jerusalem, it's talking about us in general, and wherever we are, that's where the Creator is doing what he's doing. That's why we're supposed to turn back to the Creator. But 23 says, and they shall comfort you when ye see their ways, talking about our children, and their doings. And ye shall know that I have not done without cause. You see that? Everything the Creator do, he do, it's a cause behind it. A lot of people don't, well, this is going on because it's a cause behind everything that's happening. He said that after the 400 years, he's going to judge that nation. And the nation is everybody who is unrighteous and everybody with the mindset of Rome. That's why they went through the things they went through. Right. And ye shall know that I have not done without cause all that I have done in it, saith Yah. Now let's go to Daniel chapter 12. And this is, it tells you in the last days, right here. It actually lets us know. I'm giving you two parts.
Okay.
You got Daniel 12?
Yep.
Okay, 12 and 4 say this. But thou, O Daniel, because this is after the prophecy of where we at today, 1, 2, and 3. This is that prophecy that we're in right now. We're in this prophecy right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and read it since we right here. It said the time of the end. That's the heading under my verse 12. The time of the end, which is where we at now. We're at the end of the days of everything that's going on. And I'm going to go back to Exodus chapter 20 in a few minutes to show you, to start off, the reason why we're going through what we're going through. I'm going to show you why. But first, I'm going to show you the end, then I'm going to show you the beginning. And at that time shall Mikael, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And you know what I'm talking about, because what I'm sharing with you, that's about to happen, that you're about to come into. Which shall stand up for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble. What we just read about 2026? People about to be locked in. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. That's the Creator's book. 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth, that's this dust, this mind, they mindset. Them that sleep in the mind that's dormant. Like I just shared with you about the Jesus situation. You know what I'm saying? About, they say Jesus Christ, which Christ is a title that was given to Jesus, which his name wasn't Jesus, his name was actually Yeshua, but they switched the story. It's a title. You see what I'm saying? But it's just an awakening to the knowledge of the information. So that's why it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth, that sleep right here, that sleep in the mind of the earth, shall awake. This is when you just said yourself. A lot of young ones is awakening. Many of them going to awake. Some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Then they gonna be caught up in this system. Do you understand? Tell me what you see, bro. Tell me what you understand.
If you just look at just from social media, right?
Uh-huh.
And if we're talking about young folk, right? It's two different extremes. You know what I'm saying? It's like they ain't even lukewarm no more. They're either all the way over here or they all the way over here.
Thank you. That's right. 100%, bro.
You know, if under the auspices of sin, man, it's very loose. It's loose. And it's rapid and it's televised.
There you go, bro.
Televised is, you know, I mean, it's up in your face.
There you go.
And so if we're dealing with two poles, the North and the South Pole, right?
That's it, bro. You got it.
The ones that operating with this great awakening
are
in a lane. And the ones that, you know, just following the desires of their heart.
Come on with it. There you go, bro. I'm glad you see, bro. For real. Let's go into verse 3. It said, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Verse 3. Like you said, one or the other. Verse 3 says, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. And they that turn, see, this is what's going to be going on, what I'm going to be sharing with y'all. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Where I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach them to teach others. And they're going to teach others to teach others. That's what's going on right now. That's how I'm sharing. That's why I know what I'm doing. It's things that the Father has told me and showed me up until where I'm at today and been confirmed. That's why I know who I am. I don't sit up here and got to try to prove nothing to nobody. All I do is do what I'm supposed to do. The Father already confirmed to me already a long time ago who I am and what I am and the way I'm doing what I'm doing. Not bragging or nothing, but I know. So, but check out verse 4. It says, but thou, O Daniel, see, this is now, all this was prophesied, but now he's talking back to Daniel. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. Now he's saying, shut up the words and seal the book until, what it says, even to the time of the end. This is where we are now. He told Daniel at that time when Daniel gave all the information in his book, he said, shut up the book and seal it until the time of the end. Meaning that everything that was spoken of in Daniel was prophesied to come later on. If it wasn't happening at that time, it was prophecy to happen later. This is what we're reading right now. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. That's what's going on now. Knowledge has been increased. They've come to know the information from then, from then until today. Now, Daniel was in the time of the Medes and the Persians, right after Babylon, and before the Greeks. So he was in the time of the Medes and the Persians. So it was Babylon, the Medes and the Persians, the Greeks, then the Roman Empire. Now we're in the feet of the Roman Empire, which is in chapter 2 of Daniel. We're in the feet now, which is the merry clay and iron. The iron is the system. The merry clay is us that's separating ourselves from the system.
Right.
That's us. But now we read that. Now I want to go down to verse 8, 9, and 10. This is where we are today. Verse 8. And I heard, but I understood not. I could break down 7, but we're going to go ahead straight from 8 to show you where we at today. And I heard, but I understood not. Daniel didn't understand. Then said I, O my Yah, Lord, what shall be the end of these things? Now he asked the creator, what should be the end of these things? And verse 9 says, and he said, go thy way, Daniel. For the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Where we at right now? This is the reason why I said coming so we can show you where we at today. But I'm glad I wanted to go to Ezekiel 14, 19 through 23 to let you understand about what you said about the children. That's going on today. This is going on today. And then it says, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end, which is the day we in now. Then it says, many shall, you just got through sharing this a few minutes ago. Many shall be purified and made white and tried. A lot of people going to be tried after they go through their spiritual awakening or what have you. Then it says, but the wicked shall do wickedly. See, people going to go through certain things, but the wicked going to do wickedly, meaning they ain't going to turn towards the Creator's word and the Creator's way of life. You're only going to do to the world, this kingdom, which is the world, is going to either be of the Creator's world or Satan's world. Hold on. There you go. There we go. It's going to be of the Creator's world or it's going to be of Satan's world. And it says, many shall be purified and made white. They'll be clean and tried. They're going to be tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. They ain't going to understand. Even what I'm sharing right here, they ain't going to understand. But the wise shall understand. That's in today's time. But let me bring you to the beginning of it and what happened. Right in the commandments. The Creator gave it in the commandments, but people can't see. Remember, I was telling you, Babylon, the Medes and the Persians, the Greek and the Roman Empire. Right here, I'm doing the second commandment and the second commandment only. The second commandment is verse 4 through 6. Exodus chapter 20. I'm sorry, I know I kind of went ahead of you. Tell me when you got it. Exodus chapter 20. We're going through from verse 4 through verse 6. I'm going to break some things down to show you what happened and why we went through what we went through today and why our people didn't know and why they only knew what they knew. But remember, we just read in Daniel chapter 4, close up the book and knowledge shall be increased and people should run to and fro and knowledge is going to be increased. That is what happened up until the day and time to where we are now. But we have to understand the reason why our people was brainwashed in the first place. Tell me when you got is Exodus chapter 20.
Yeah, okay.
You got it? Verse 4 through 6, it states, thou shalt not, this right here is the second commandment. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. That's any graven image, right? Then he says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything. That means no thing. We're not supposed to make any type of idols, anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. That's your mind, your body, or your intellect. You ain't supposed to bow down to anything in the earth because the creator is spirit. What we're breathing now is universal consciousness. That's the creator. That's the breath of life. You can't see. That's why we're supposed to worship him in spirit and truth. This word is truth. The spirit is what we dwell in. But we have been given an image to worship. That's why I say Jesus, as I was sharing with you a few minutes ago, the one that they call Jesus, the one they said Jesus, who they call Christ. That's a title that they gave to the one they called Jesus, but it was a prophet that came named Yeshua. But we're not supposed to worship him. This is why the world has been made to worship Jesus. But right here it tells you we're not to worship anything in heaven above, earth beneath, or waters on the earth. That means no thing. But the people has gone to because they tell you don't live in the Old Testament no more, you live in the New. They just threw God's commandments away and said, okay, this is what we giving you. The Council of Nicaea did that. And I have proof on them. If you get time, my YouTube is Juice Pro 33. That's my YouTube. Upload and like, subscribe, and share. Go back and check out history. In part 2, I did part 1. I broke a lot of stuff down in part 1. But part 2, I go into history and show you how King Constantine in 325 AD came up with the Council of Nicaea. And the Arians was there. They was fighting, which I started off with you in a minute at first. Then for 56 years, they was fighting. It was controversy between the Arians and the bishop for 56 years. Then they edged the Arians out. And this is where the deadly wound, which is, if you read Revelation 13, verse 4, and Revelation 13, verse, I believe that's verse 12, 11, 12. I think that's 12 or 13, and also 14, I believe it is. But you'll see where it said the deadly wound was healed. The deadly wound is Christianity. The wound was Christianity, and it was fighting for 56 years, for half a century. If a century is 100 years, for half a century, they was fighting. And that was the deadly wound, which was Christianity, and that wound was healed. That's why we have Christianity today. And Christianity is the biggest religion in the world besides Muslim. But Christianity is the main thing that the Roman pushed. Then they made an image behind it, which was Jesus. But the people can't see it because they've been taught, like you said, they only know what they know. But this is the reason why they know what they know. And I'm about to give it to you right here in verse 5. It says, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah thy Father, or Lord thy God, am a jealous God. Here we go. Visiting the iniquity, the ignorance of the fathers, the parents. Now, I like to break it down like this. Visiting the iniquity, the ignorance of the fathers upon the children. Like you said, we teach our children what we know. So the fathers, I like to put parents there for what, because a lot of the children in the household don't have a father. They have mothers, which is the parent. The parent, the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, the iniquity of the parents upon the children, unto the third Greek and fourth Roman generation of them that hate me. When you go to Revelation, I'm just going to, not Revelation, if you go to Daniel chapter 2, verse 36 through 40, at the end of 39, you're going to see where it says, matter of fact, let's go there. I ain't gonna tell you. Let me go there so you can see it. Since everybody here now, I'm recording, might as well show it. Again, right here. Let me take you all the way to 6 before we go there, though. It says, visiting the iniquity, the ignorance of the fathers, the parents, upon the children, unto the third, which is the Greek, and fourth, which is the Roman generation of them that hate me. That's the Greeks and the Romans. Then it says, and, huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. And it says, verse 6, and showing mercy, which is grace. Remember, they say, we ain't under worship no more, we under grace. We ain't under law no more, what they say. We ain't under law no more, we under grace. That's where we at. Right. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. That there is the grace that we're under because the Creator knew that we didn't keep the word. We didn't keep it because we've been taught away. Now I'm about to show you how we were taught away from that fact. Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2. Here we go. I got to be careful with my book because it's getting unraveled easy. There we go. Daniel chapter, we'll start at 36. I'm just giving facts. Daniel chapter 2 and 36 state, this is the dream. Tell me if you got it. Okay. 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. 37. This is when the king Nebuchadnezzar had a dream of the great statue. Remember this great statue? The head of gold, arm and chest of silver, the torso and thighs made of brass, then the legs and feet, the legs made of iron, the feet are made of iron and clay. Remember that? That's what this story is right here. But I'm giving you the meat of it. I'm giving you the key to it. Excuse me. Verse 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. 37. Thou, O king, art a king of kings. Art a king of kings. Why is he a king of kings? Because he was in Babylon. Remember when the Tower of Babel, when all the language got confounded? Everybody went their own way and became a nation of their own. The Syrians, the Chaldeans, the Philippians, not Philippines, but that might be who they is. But you know, all these different nations start being their own nation in the earth. Egyptians, everybody went their way in back. That's why it's called Babylon. Everybody became a nation in that time until Nebuchadnezzar became a great king in that time. That's why it says, this is the dream that we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. 37. Thou, O king, art a king of kings. For the God of heaven, for Yah of heaven, has given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. You notice that it said a kingdom, and that was in the time of Babylon. And verse 38, and wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thine hand, and has made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. That was the beginning, and that was Babylon, and he was the head of gold at that time. Verse 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee. This is the chest. The Medes and the Persians. The chest and arms of silver. The Medes and the Persians, because there was the Medes and the Persians that was king. That was over the earth at that time. Not over the earth, over 2 areas in the earth. But check out part 3. He said, 39 says, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee. Then it says, and another third kingdom, this is the brass. Another third kingdom of brass, which shall, this is your key right here, which shall bear rule over all the earth. It never said that with any of the other ones. This is the first time you see where it says the third kingdom, which is brass, which is the Greeks, is going to bear rule over all the earth. And how they do it? Alexander the Great went around conquering everywhere he went. That's why they call him Alexander the Great, which is Alexander the Greek. Conquered everywhere he went. And he bare rule over all the earth. Now, when you read in Revelation chapter 13, you're going to see where the dragon relinquishes power to the beast. The beast is Rome. The dragon is Greek. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go there. Well, I'm going to go there. I might as well go ahead and show it. I got to show the facts. You know, I have to, and I don't want to skip nothing, because if I skip some, people going to be wondering. I like to make, that's why I say if I go there, I got to show it. 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. This is Rome. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. I could read the rest of that, but we're going to go to Daniel chapter 7 right now. I've got you to there to understand that Babylon, the Medes and the Persians, the Greek and the Roman Empire. Now, I could read down, but for sake of time, because we already an hour and 21 minutes in, so I ain't going to read all that because I want to show you this right here on 7 and 8, where we at today. And then I'm going to take you to Revelations and show you portions there, because if I go through the whole thing, we'll be here until, we'll be here 2 hours. I'm trying not to be that long because a lot of people don't have long attention span. So, right here in Daniel chapter 7. Or did I read? Let me finish reading Daniel 2 and 40. Subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. Now I'm about to give you the understanding to that. Daniel 7, verse 23, 24, and 25.
Okay.
You ready?
Daniel
7, verse 23, 24, and 25. Now we got to understand who the beast is. Here we go. Remember, we just seen head of gold is Babylon, the Medes and the Persians, the Greeks, and then you had two parts on the leg. You got two legs, Old Rome and New Rome. That's where you're going to get this at right here. Old Rome and New Rome is chapter 8. Same place, 23, 24, and 25. But we're going to get 23 first over here at 7, Daniel 7. It says, thus he said, the fourth beast. Are they talking about the beast? The mark of the beast? The beast is the kingdom. The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth. See that? Greek bear rule over the whole earth. Now Rome came and took over the whole earth. Thus he said, the fourth beast, I want you to see it with your eyes. That's why I'm reading that. That's why I'm glad you're with me. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse, different from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth. You see it say that, right? I'm not saying it for it's in the book, right? Brother Gus?
Yeah.
You see it, right?
Yeah.
I'm showing you what it said in the book according to prophecy. That's why he told Daniel, shut up the book. He said, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. All this is prophecy. And shall devour the whole earth and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Now, you don't know how I break that down. I don't know if you heard me say it before, but how I break that part down is this. When they took over the earth, they took over the 7 continents, which is the 7 heads of the 7 beasts in Revelations. There arise a dragon out of earth with 7 heads. The 7 heads is the 7 continents. That's the 7 heads. Huh?
No, I'm following.
Yeah. The 7 heads is the 7 continents.
Okay.
The 7 continents is each ruler, that's why I said over the whole earth. Let me break it down for you. Which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth. Take over the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. How did it do it? The 7 heads is the whole earth. What it did, the 7 continents. In those continents, what they did was they took over the continents. 2 of the continents, I always break down. Africa, it used to be a Akiba line. They called Africa Akiba line, but they changed from Africa. I mean, from Akiba line to Africa from someone named Africanos that took over Africa, and then Americas. I did the research on the America situation, and the Americanos or Americas, they end up changing the name to him. That's where the land of that's why the land is called America, called Americas or Americanos. I forgot how it was, but that was his name. So that's 2 continents compared to all the rest of them.
Right. Wow.
That's 2 continents. So this way they took over all the continents, and that's just 2. But not only that, the continents, and then they put countries inside the continents. The country, this way it said they bruised and took over everything in chapter 2. It said just like iron bruised, it bruised and how did it say over there in chapter 2 at the end of 2? It said it subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. It broke in pieces. That's all this government did. It broke in pieces. That's why everybody have I'm about to go deep. But birth certificate, social security card, and ID card, and this is, I haven't got to the bottom yet. Let me get to the bottom of it, because I went down before I can come down. I'm trying to bring you down from the continents to the countries, from the countries to the city and states. Whether if they have cities, they don't have cities, they have states. If they're in the country, they have rural areas, city and states. They have districts and they have counties, whether it's in America or wherever it is in the world. Then they have neighborhoods, streets, all the way down to your house. Because like I always share, you can send something from your house to Africa. You can send some from your house to Germany. You can send some from your house to Timbuktu. Wherever you want to send it in the world, it's going to make it there. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
That's the Roman Empire. This is the Roman Empire. So just the fact of that's the jurisdiction. This whole earth is under the Roman Empire. All the way down to a child coming out the mother's womb. This is when they put the birth certificate and social security card, and once they get old enough, you get an ID card that follows you from the womb to the tomb. So from the continents all the way to the child, Rome has power over everything. That's why you're doing what you're about to do with us. That's why you're getting your status corrected. You understand where I'm going now?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? That's why you got to get your status corrected, because once you do that, you become private. That's all I'm saying at this point. But let me keep it moving. I wanted to show you that point, and let me keep it coming down to show you more information. I'm just going to take it to 25. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom, see, it's 10 horns, which is power. The 10 horns is power. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings, which is kingdoms that shall arise. They're going to arise. There's going to be 10 horns on top of the 7 continents. And another shall arise after them. That's the Pope and the New Rome. Another shall arrive after them. That's New Rome. And he shall be diverse, different from the first. He'll be different from the first Rome. That's going to be the New Rome. He's going to be different from the first Rome, but he's still going to carry the traits of old Rome. Right. And he shall subdue 3 kings. And to me, those 3 kings is Babylon, the Medes and the Persian, the Greek and the Roman Empire. He's going to subdue them, but yet still, he's still a part of the Roman Empire. It's just the second half of the Roman Empire. 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, Christianity. All the stuff that they give is blasphemy that they give Jesus, Yahshua, even if they give it to Yahshua. It's blasphemy against the Creator's word, because the Creator did all the stuff. He said that there's nobody besides him. There's no God besides him. But they have brainwashed the people in the New Testament to believe that Jesus is God. This it goes deeper than what I'm sharing with you, but this is what is going on, and this is the reason why they gave all power to what they call Jesus, and this is the way they made the story. That's why I say they modified the story. What Joshua came to do, Joshua came to let people know that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Turn back and repent. That was his job. They gave Jesus a whole different job and said he the Son of God and he's the Father, God, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. That's actually in the bishops, and that's what they made. Remember, I told you I got history to show the facts. I got history. So 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints. We're the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. The beginning of the year is really in the spring, but they changed it from middle of spring to winter. That's where they get the word April Fool from. When the season them changed the real time of from the beginning of spring to the middle of winter, everybody that kept the spring as New Year, they start calling them fools. Why? Because everybody are whoring after Rome, which you're going to see in Revelation 13 in a few minutes. And they shall be given into his hand, the beast, until a time and the dividing of times. The Greek, the Roman Empire, and the dividing of time, to me, is the 400 years. 400 years when we was in there, giving it to his hand until the time. It's our time now to wake up. But now let's go to chapter 8 real quick, verse 23, 24, and 25. This is what we're going to get into now on the deeper end of what you're about to come out of. Verse 23, Daniel 8 and 23 says, and in the latter time, again, it's talking about in these days, and in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, we are the transgressors. We transgress the Creator's word. We transgress his law. That's why we're in the position we're in today. That's the reason why we don't know our language, as I was sharing with you a little earlier. We don't know our culture. We don't know half of what it is that we're supposed to know. But we're growing back. We're awakening back to the Father. But as we're awakening, we're coming to learn more. We're coming out of our amnesia. For those who want to come out, a lot of people satisfied where they at. A lot of people I just want to make the money. Money. See, that's what they ain't thinking about trying to follow the Creator. Their mind is on the substance. And don't know that might get taken from them. Just like remember I was telling you about this electronic currency? Right. Imagine this. All of a sudden, this right here causes people to the electricity being on. Suppose this happened. That happened, no more money. Everything dead. That's what I'm trying to get the brother to understand. I've been trying to tell him this for long, but what he's saying, now I'm going to ask you this real quick. Before I go on, I'm going to ask you this quick question. Just hit me. Man, they making all this $1 trillion. You think they're going to do something? You see how quick that they can tear a building down? Look at the Twin Towers. It just hit me. Thank you, Father. Look at the Twin Towers. Twin Tower was the two tallest landscapes or skyscrapers in New York. Right. Those two planes didn't bring them towers down. They don't care nothing about the way they see that people. That's what I'm saying. Our people mind, we don't think the way they think. They about war. They want to make you think, they want to draw you in. Oh man, XRP and all this electronic currency and all this and that. And all next thing you know, lights go out, it's gone. Oh, we done lured y'all in. When y'all should have been over there getting your freedom. But y'all over here, come on, keep coming. They're like they're reeling you in, reeling you in, reeling you in. I see further than that. I'm past that. I already see what's going on. They over there got you. They're doing one thing over here and got you distracted from over here. And everybody that's greedy, they don't think they greedy, but they greedy. XRP, this and that. We're gonna be rich. We're gonna have this. And that's gonna be just as deep just as high as they think they're going, they're gonna be just that deep when it happens.
Wow.
Think about it. Just their expectation, the money. They don't even think they're greedy. I've been saying for the longest, man, y'all better get free first. Better get free, but they can't see. Where your heart flows, how my baby saying, how they say it, said, where your mind goes, where your heart flows, your mind will go. Where your mind will go, your heart will flow. However it go, but that's where your mind at, that's where you're going. If your mind is on the money, that's where you're going to follow. I want the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want the truth. I want the facts. And as long as the credit is giving it to me, I'm doing it. And that's why I'm not hard up for money. I mean, I don't mind. I like making it because I'm making it to sustain myself, to get what I need. But when the time comes, I'm going to be like, I know I'm going to be like Job. And you know, Job, he went through a whole lot of situations. He was already wealthy or rich or had funds and stuff like that. But when the time came at the end, he was wealthy. 2 or 3 times better than he was from the beginning. I already know it's coming. It's not that I expect it, but I already know. I understand. That's why I don't even worry. Me and my wife not hard up for money like that. And I'm thankful we're not. But people gonna find out. Watch.
That's awesome.
Talk to me, bruh.
But hey, listen, I got to go and get some sleep.
I hear you, bro. I didn't mean to hold you up so long. I got you, bro.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me? Gus. He's like he going to sleep. Can you hear me, Gus? Oh, he there though, but I don't know. If you're going to sleep, bro, you can go ahead. I'm going to finish up because I don't want to leave the people hanging with this information. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it on up and going on to Revelations to get that last point. In case you want to come back and check it out, it'll be there. So, verse 23, it says, in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are to come to the full, a king, which is a kingdom of fierce countenance and understanding dark senses, should stand up. That's the second kingdom, which is second Rome of today. That's when all these judges, the Pope, all of them gonna come up with their tactics against the people. That's the dark senses and stuff. It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. It's the power of the Creator. The Creator is allowing him to have it. And he shall destroy wonderfully, as we know he do with tanks and stuff like that, and the stuff that he does by war. This says, and shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and holy people. That's us, which has been happening all this time. 25. And through his policy, the stuff they've been using against us all the time, and he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many, and shall also stand up against the prince of princes, which is us in this day and time, but he shall be broken without hand. And how he gonna be broken without hand? The pen and the pad. Strongest thing in the earth right now. So, but just before I go to reveal the prophecy, let me give you the last part of how everything is going to end up, which is Daniel 7 and 17 and 18. Again, which is these great beasts, Daniel 7 verse 17. These great beasts which are four kings, which is four kingdoms. Babylon, Medes and the Persians, the Greek and the Roman Empire. These great beasts which are four kings, which is kingdoms, which shall arise out of the earth. But, verse 18, but the saints of the Most High, which is us, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, which is the earth, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. That's what's going to happen. That is the bottom line of it all. But let me go ahead and hit that revelation just for those who may come and want to see the rest of this information. Might as well go ahead and hit you 12 and 3. Then I'm going to 13. I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm going to hit some portions so y'all can see what I'm talking about and what we were talking about not too long ago, because we an hour and 40 minutes in, and a lot of people time span is not that long. So I'm trying to make this quick. Revelations 12 and 3 states, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. What the red dragon is, that's Esau. If you want to know who Esau is, go to Genesis chapter 25. It'll tell you around the 20th through the 25th and 6th verse. It'll tell you about Jacob and Esau being born. The elder gonna serve the younger. The elder's in charge now, which is talk about the prophecy in 27. So that's 25 verse 19, 20 to 25, 26. Talk about the birth of Jacob and Esau, or Esau and Jacob, because Esau came out first. Then in chapter 20, Genesis 27, it breaks down and tell you the two blessings. Jacob, they say that stole the blessing, but he didn't steal it because it was told to them in the womb that the elder gonna serve the younger, so that it was meant for him to get it. And his mother set him up to get it because it was told to her that the elder gonna serve the younger. So she had to make sure that it happened, and he went in and he got the blessing. Because if he didn't, we'd be wiped out. We would be wiped out. You look at how the Caucasians treat us. That's why I say, "Oh, nation not desired." If he didn't do it, so Jacob got the blessing in Genesis 27 verse 28 and 29. Then in Genesis 39 and 40, Esau got his blessing. By thy sword shall thou live, meaning by war shall thou live. Everywhere, this whole land was captivated, and everywhere they went, they took it by war. That's Esau. The system is Esau, which states right here, the great red dragon. Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. 7 heads is the 7 continents. The 10 horns is 10 powers upon the continents, and the crowns is the 7 at this time, and 7 crowns, which is kingdoms upon the continents. So he ruled over each kingdom, but he had 10 points of power on all 7 continents. But here we go now, Revelation 13. I'm just giving the key points. The first beast, first Rome. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea of people, having 7 heads and 10 horns. This was the beast. Over here in Revelations 12 and 3, it says, talk about the dragon, a great red dragon. Same people. Now you have a beast. You have the dragon and you have the beast. And I stood upon the sand, this is the first beast. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns. Now, the horns has crowns on top of them. So all those places of power, they have established kingdoms in those places of power. On the 7 continents, you got You got on the 7 continents, you got 10 kingdoms on those continents. And upon his heads the names of blasphemy. Names of blasphemy. This is where all the different countries in the world blaspheme the name of the creator. Everybody got their own God. The creator made the full earth. But all these other nations has blasphemed the creator and made gods of their own. That's why I said names of blasphemy. You can only blaspheme the creator. Verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet was the feet of a bear. I still believe and I don't know the facts to that point, but my point is this. The leopard was either England, or what is it? The British or the Englishman. One or the other. That's who I believe it is. And this beast was I saw like unto the leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. And I believe that was probably Russia, because they called the bear Russia. So I'm thinking that was like portions of it as well. So that's my point of view. I never gave the facts on that, but that's my point of view from what I see here. But when I get to the second half, I know the facts to that. And it says, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, meaning he had great authority speaking. But check it out in the end of 2. And the dragon, Greek, gave him, the beast, his power, his seat, and great authority. That's what I meant by he relinquished his power to Rome. The dragon gave the beast his power. He gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. And here go Christianity. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed after 56 years that I have proven. And I got in my information, but like I said, that'll be too long tonight. We have an hour and 46 minutes in. But if you go to history, it's in there. If you go to other places that I've shared, it's in there. I went and I shared the information. To death. And his deadly wound was healed. And there you go. And all the world wondered after the beast. All the world wondered after Rome. See that? Christianity, the movies and theaters, and money. That's the Roman Empire. Look at the television. Everything across the television, they got our attention. That's one thing. Besides the games, the Roman Empire. Remember the games and the gladiators? That was the games that they used to go see, the gladiators. Are you not entertained? Here we go. I say, are you not entertained? Let me go ahead and switch y'all up real quick. I knew it's going to be going out soon. And there we go. Instagram. Now, but the whole point is the understanding of the times. People don't think about the time. They don't think about it. And this is the problem. They just look at stuff and think about, oh, this is the mark on the beast of the day. No, this is thing through time. Everything is happening. And all the world wondered after the beast, the end of 3. Verse 4. And they worship the dragon. They worship Greek. Don't still do it today. They got sororities and fraternities. You know what I'm saying? And all the stuff that's all the stuff that all the other nation thing. This is where Rome has bruised and broken to pieces and subdued everything. You got Christmas, you got Thanksgiving, you got Halloween. All these things are different holidays and stuff of other different cultures. All that's a part of Rome. He breaking, bruised, and subdued everything. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is like unto Rome? When you in Rome, you do what Romans do. Ain't that what they say? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. That's your Christianity. Blasphemy against the creator, by giving all the power and everything to Jesus. Right now, the whole world is Jesus, 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 Jesus. And like I said, go to get you a 1611 Bible. You see the word Isus. You don't hear nobody saying Isus, 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 Isus. I see Isus in my mind. You don't see that. But the image, right now, it ain't even got to the image. It's just talking about have a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. That's Christianity itself, because they ain't even made an image yet. The image is coming up in the second beast, New Rome. That's after you get the Pope. See what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. You have to follow the times and understand what's going on. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. I think those was the Crusaders going around 42 months, and they was going around making people accept Christianity, because Alexander the Greek was going around just conquering. They was going around just conquering the world. They conquered all. And then when they relinquished their power over to Rome, now Rome is set up, and now they have Christianity. This way they got the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. That was made up by the bishops. I got history on that. See what I'm saying? And this is what I'm talking about, the whole world, but you're only going by what they put in your face. This is the precepts of men that they put in the people's face, and they go about whatever they say, and the whole world is going a whoring after Christianity, after Rome. Verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against, you see that? And blasphemy against the Creator. Christianity, y'all. To blaspheme his name, the Creator's name, which is his law. The Creator's name is his law. And his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. See, this is where we're coming back to. I told you we're going to be in gates of heaven once we get to a certain point. Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. That's what happened with us. They made war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindred. See, not only the saints, which was the heads at one time, over all kindreds and tongues and nations. That means they took over the whole earth. The beast. And all that dwell upon, see there, verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. Who is him? The beast. Whose names are not written in the book of life. Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundations of the world. The Lamb is us. We were slain. Why? Because we don't know who we are. We are the Lamb. We are the children of the Most High. Israel and Judah. We are the slain. We're the ones who don't know who we are. We're just waking up to know who we are in the latter days, as we read a little earlier. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Now, whether people know it or not, it's things that didn't happen that the world don't know about. Only the wise and the conscious know information that I'm talking about. Some of y'all may know it. Many people don't. That didn't happen with the thing. Y'all heard of adrenochrome? Y'all heard of Pizzagate? It's a lot of stuff that didn't happen that they didn't got judged for, that people don't. This going on right here. Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Did y'all know about them underground cabins and stuff under the earth? Under all the major cities? Did y'all know about that? I may be talking a little bit too much, but did you know? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. I ain't even breaking it down. I'm just kind of reading through it. Now, the second beast, verse 11. This is New Rome. Now comes the Pope. Now comes the United States. Oh, how you know it's the United States? I'm going to show you. Verse 11. Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up, another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb. As a like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. It's another beast coming out the earth. Remember the 7? Now you got another individual beast coming up. And it had 2 horns like a lamb. Lamb means to be young. It's not a ram, but a lamb. It had 2 horns. Guess what those horns is? Republican and Democrat. Democrat and Republican. And guess what? And spake as a dragon. Whichever one won, the world listened. Whichever one won, the world listened. They listened to Obama. They listened to the Bushes. They listened to Biden, even though he wasn't nowhere in office. And they're listening to Trump right now, too, ain't they? The whole world listening to him, ain't they? 2 horns. But all of them been of the same body, though. See what I'm saying? 2 horns, but the same body. The only ones that wasn't connected to all those different presidents, as far as I know, Abraham Lincoln, Kennedy, and Trump. Them the only ones who are not part family members of both horns, Republican or Democrat. They're the only 3 that I know that's not connected to them in the family bloodline, as far as I know. But 12. And he exercised, check it out, and he exercises all the power of the first beast. You see that? The first beast, from 1 to 10. The first beast. He ain't say nothing about the dragon. The first beast. And he exercised, let's say, and he exercised all the power of the first beast. Christianity. God the Father, God the Son, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Before him, and causes the earth and them that which dwell therein to worship the first beast. Christianity. That did what? Whose deadly wound was healed. Christianity. That's the deadly wound that was healed, because it was the Aryans fighting, well, not fighting, but they was tussling. And this is going to be a later time. I can't go over it tonight, but I'm just going to share it with you real quick. For 56 years, these 2 was going at it until they edged out the Aryans. I don't know if they killed them off or what they did, but they edged out the Aryans, and this is where Christianity grew. That's the deadly wound that was healed. That's why you have Christianity today. First beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell in to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Verse 13. And say, and he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Hiroshima, the atomic bomb. Also, you have missiles. You have missiles. You have tanks. You have planes, cinemas. All this stuff is fire coming down from the earth, coming down onto the earth. From heaven to the earth in the sight of men. 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. What did they do about going to the moon? Ain't that a miracle that everybody thought that everybody deceived them? They went to the moon. They never went to the moon. They lied. All kind of stuff they've been lying about. They're using television. Remember I was telling you about them using movies and stuff? See, I give you facts and give you something to think about to understand what's going on. Saying to them, well, here we go, right here. Here we go, right here. This is your image coming up. Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they shall make an image. Now comes your Jesus. All this blasphemy and everything else, this is when you had the 1611 Bible and everything else before that. Bringing it all the way up to now, to the saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. The beast is the Roman Empire. The image to the Roman Empire is Jesus. That's the image that they made, which had the wound by a sword and did live. What was the wound? Christianity. And how did it live? They got rid of the Aryans, and Christianity became what it is today. In the name of Jesus. 15. And he had power to give life. See, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. How many people say Jesus is alive today? That image is alive today in the minds of many people. And they swear that he's for real. They swear he's real for real so bad that they have images of him. They really think that he's really alive. That he came and did, oh, I saw Jesus. No, you probably saw an angel. You probably seen a figure that the Creator sent to you and you think it's Jesus. The Father probably sent angels to you, celestial angels, that is. And you seen that, and the first thing you think of is Jesus because of what they tell you here in the book. But the Father probably sent you an angel to help you in one way or another, and in your mind, because of what you've been taught, oh, that was Jesus. There you go. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. How do we speak? Through the New Testament. And I say unto you. That's blasphemy against the created word. Right there, you start in Matthew chapter 5, starting at the 21st verse. You have heard of old time, such and such, but I say unto you, who is you to change the creator's word? You never heard none of the prophets say, but I say unto you. They say, thus saith Yah. Thus saith the Lord. This is what the Creator said. Thus saith. That's how you know. That's how you know they're speaking in the Creator's name. But when you hear him say, "But you have heard of," no, it's blatant out disrespect. You have heard of old time. How you going to step and say the Creator that spoke through from His mouth in the 10 Commandments that He spoke, and He gonna say you have heard from old time? That right there shows you. But people don't think that deep. That's the problem. They don't think that deep, and their mind is so, what did it tell you? Everybody that's going to whoring after whose name is not written in the book of life. It's telling you right there. But let's keep it moving on 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many that would not worship the image, Jesus, as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And they was doing that at one time. Now you're getting in today's time. And he causes all, both, who was he? The beast. Causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. That has happened and is coming. See, you got to understand, this all is a process of time. All this is a process of time. It ain't happened at one time. And just to let you know, since 1933, when they made the birth certificate, social security card, ID card, marriage certificate, and they changing the schooling from you learning what you're supposed to know, they didn't change that to now you're going to be set up to go to jail. You're learning the basics to get out there and keep this world running like a well-oiled machine, or you're going to be set up to go to jail in order to be set up for that system. It's all set up. But the people can't see it. You're learning what the enemy is giving to you to keep you running this system like a well-run oil machine.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the people can't see. Because as long as you still just going along to get along, you ain't trying to study, you ain't trying to know, everything is laid out for you. Okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, this one, okay. Nobody sit back and say, wait a minute, let me go out here. This is when the Spirit deals with you. When you start looking in the book, and the Father start opening your mind to see things and understand things by asking and praying, Father, show me and give me your way and let me understand it and allow me to see and allow me to accept. That's the key. Allow me to accept your way, Father, and He's going to show you. When He show you, you can't refute it. You might want to, but you can't refute it. You'll be like, okay, well, It's like they said, once you see it, you can't unsee it. But you can deny it if you want to, but you can't deny what you saw. You can deny, oh no, that ain't it, but it's in your mind now because the Spirit is in you from looking at the book. But let's keep it moving. I'm going all the way to 18. We're going to end it. And it says, he caused, verse 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. But the key is that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, which is coming on a mark in a situation, the info pet, which is the RFID chip that they now made into nanobots that they're putting under the skin. See, you got to understand, this system keep upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. Like the New World Order started in 1933 when they gave you birth certificate, social security card, ID card, and changed a few other things. And then they started vaccinating people, putting unknown chemicals inside the skin. And I used to think about that. The creator never, I used to think about that coming up. The creator never, why did we got to do this? We never did. Creator ain't, we're going with what the system and society has taught us. And we ain't paying no attention. We just going along because that's what they say. Flu shots and everything. They putting stuff in our bodies to kill, to break our immune system down in many different ways. They doing all kinds of stuff. I'm just going to leave it at that. Everybody else use your mind. We got to start thinking. Say that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. The name of the beast is your name in all caps. Because the system has you a straw man in all caps. The number is your social security number. You can't buy or sell without either one of them. Some people are, well, it's the chip is the phone. You can put the phone down and keep walking anytime you want. He said, in your right hand or in your phone. That means that people, or you can think on this and that, or you can have it in your phone, and you can put that phone down, and you can put that phone down, and you can leave from here and go to Timbuktu or wherever you can by putting that phone down. You ain't got the phone on you no more. It says it's going to be in your right hand or in your forehead, and it's going to be certain point. They think it's because you're thinking about it. You have the number on you. But if you got money to pay to go somewhere and then just be secluded, unless they got something to track you down. But the last point right here, 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And that number is 603. Some people say there's 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. No, it ain't. It said a man. It ain't say the number of man. It said it's the number of a man. That man is Vicarious Philly D. Vicarious Philly D yeah, I don't think I got it. Wanted to have something around here. I can show something, some proof of some of the information that I have. I want to show something. Let me show something. Okay, this Anglos. Nope, not that. I already had him look that up already. Okay. I want to have something to show before we go. I just want to have something to show some facts. Now, this is my Wednesday night information. I mean, my Tuesday night information right here. Now, I got this set to the side. Nope. Let me see right here. Nah. I thought I had it. Nope, I ain't have it sitting to the side. I thought I was going to have it. Nah, I'm going to show y'all. 666 is, and all you got to do is pull it up. Vicarious Philly D. That's the actual title of the Pope. And I don't have it on me. I thought I was going to show y'all something. This is just other. Wait a minute. Let me see. I might have it in here. Just show a little something. Here we go. Bam. Thank you, Father. Y'all see that right there? Vicarious Philly D. This is the name of the Pope. Vicarious Philly D or representative of the Son of God is a phrase first used in the forged medieval donation of Constantine to refer to Saint Peter, who is reared as the. Hold on. I just want to give you something. Vicar, the Son of God, or representative of the Son of God in English. Here is a more detailed explanation. Or I wanted to get down to the 666 though. Hold on. Don't tell me I ain't got it on me because I know I had it on me. Oh. This is historical interpretation. There you go. This historical interpretation identifies as the number 66. Let me make sure y'all can see that. See right there? Right there. Make sure y'all see that number. That's 666 right there. I'm going to read it right down real quick. This historical interpretation identifies the number 666 with the papal title Vicarius Filii, meaning Vicar of the Son of God. This phrase has been used by popes for centuries. Make sure y'all see that. Y'all can stop it, turn it around, look at it for yourself. Check it out. I told you I got proof of what I'm talking. When I say something, I know what I'm talking about. I've been knowing this here, and this was taught to me by the one that the creator sent me to back in 96, 97 when I learned this. By the teacher that taught me. He taught me. See, I don't think that I know everything because I learned stuff from other people. But what I come to know, when it comes to like the stuff that I read there about the image, the creator gave me that. The spirit gave me that. About the image. See, a lot of stuff I come across myself because the spirit gave it to me, but it's a lot of stuff I've learned as well. So I don't think I don't believe me. I don't try to think that. Well, I'm the man. I think no. I'm the Christ. Nope. That ain't me. We all have a part of learning and sharing information with each other. We all have knowledge and information. So, Vicarius Filii. I learned that from my first teacher when I was in Mississippi called Rabbi R. Divine. That's how I know that. That's how I know the first, Zeus in 1611 Bible is actually from Ea, the Babylonian god, and Zeus, the Greek god. Two pagan gods that they combined the names, and then afterward they put a J at the I, put a hook on the I, and made a J. That's where Jesus come from, and the world is worshiping two pagan gods under the name of Jesus. Don't even realize it. I'm gonna end it right there. I'm just wanting to put some information out here. I'm glad that Brother Gus asked a couple of questions for me to go on. So I guess we'll call this tonight. What was that? We say correct your status and the beast. I'm gonna put it like that. Correct your status and the beast. In the beast. That's what I'm probably call this tonight. Correct your status in the beast. Because that's what it all pertains to. This whole system is about the beast. But correcting your status is what you should be getting to. So the first part one, is more about correcting the status and getting ourselves getting on point. Excuse me. So that's what I'm gonna call this tonight. Correct your status and the beast. So right now we get ready to end it tonight. I'm glad Gus came in to listen to the little bit of information that I had to share. What came out, I always have the creator to bring it up, and what comes up comes out. I'm thankful for what it does. My man G1 didn't say too much tonight, but other than that, I'm just glad we're where we are. We'll be back tomorrow night with Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. That's tomorrow night. Whatever the Father gonna bring at that time. It's wide open, whatever he allows us to have at that time. But right now, just wanted to share that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. Other than that, we get ready to smile out, not smile, we get ready to do the benediction. This is the prayer that the Creator told Moses to tell Aaron to put onto the children of Israel. And then we're going to do the Shema, and then I'm let everybody know how to get back in contact with us on each night and the things and the platforms that we'll be on. So right now, we're going to do the benediction, which is in Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name, which is his law, upon the children of Israel, and I, Yah, will bless them. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekevo, Bakuto Violam, Vaed, Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Praise you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, plan to do. Allow us to take your word, accept your word, and keep your word. Let us accept it and let us retain it, that we will know your word and do your will in your way. We thank you and praise you. In your holy word we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. All right. And for anybody that's here or may come, if you like, you can always get in contact with me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. Also, you can email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. Alrighty. Excuse me. If you'd like to connect with us on part 1 and part 2, which is on the live on YouTube, and that's on Instagram and also Facebook, part 1 and part 2, you'll first find us on YouTube at JuicePro33. That's YouTube at JUICEPRO33. That's YouTube. Also at JUICEPRO33. That's all together. Put that in your search engine. Please like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. And connect. Let people know. And go back and check some of the information on there. Also, that's on YouTube. That's under live. The part 1 and part 2 is on YouTube under live. And also it's on Instagram. Part 1 and part 2 is on Instagram. My Instagram is L'chaim_the Juice, which is spelled LKHYYM_THEJUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM_THEJUICE. And also, last but not least, for part 1 and part 2, excuse me, part 1 and part 2 on Facebook. My Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is MI_CHAEL space Harris. That's Mikael Harris again, which is spelled MI apostrophe CHAEL space Harris. That's part one and part two for those. Now, if you'd like to check us out on the full version you catch us on YouTube again, which is under video. The full version is under video on YouTube. The part one and part two is under live. So the full version is under video, which is still JUICEPRO33. That's JUICE. Excuse me. JUICEPRO33 all together. Like, subscribe, and share on there. Also, we're on X, formerly known as Twitter, for the full version. That's X, formerly known as Twitter, under JuicePro33 as well, which is JUICEPRO33. That's JUICEPRO33, right? Now, also, you can catch us on Rumble.com. That's Rumble.com, which is /LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM on the full version. And you can also catch us on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. And last but not least, if you like my TikTok is the same. One of my TikToks is the same as Instagram, which is at, in the search engine, at LKHYYM_THEJUICE. That's underscore, I'm sorry, that's at LKHYYM_THEJUICE. And last but not least, on TikTok is Michael the Juice Harris. This is my other TikTok, which is at sign in the search engine, MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, that's at sign in the search engine, MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Now, if you like to catch us on Zoom, you can always get us on Zoom. And the nights we're on is on, like tonight, the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. on Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Fight Fire with Truth is open conversation on Sundays at 9, the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. On Mondays, we at Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, which will be tomorrow night. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth at 9 p.m. on Monday nights. If you'd like to connect with us on there. And on Tuesday, which is private. This is private Zoom meetings, and it's for the private. And if you'd like to get in contact with me, just text me your name, number, and email. Text me your name, number, email, and say you want to be part of the private Zoom meeting. And then I will put you in my calendar, and it will come up in your email, and you just have to fill out the NDA and send it back. But other than that, the private is on Tuesday, which is Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. That's on Tuesdays. And last but not least, on the Sabbath day is the Sabbath, which is Assembly of the Righteous. That's Assembly of the Righteous. Oh, I forgot. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. It's at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. And the Assembly of the Sabbath, the Sabbath of the Righteous, is at 12 p.m. noon, which is the beginning of the evening, the end of the morning at noonday on the Sabbath day. So other than that, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I thank you, G1. I thank you, Gus. I thank everybody for coming, and also anybody that's on Instagram and also on YouTube Live. I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. I appreciate, love you, and we're going to say bye first to Instagram over here, or just Facebook. Instagram up there. I'll see you later. Love you. Appreciate love you and always. Peace. Well, Gus, I know you ready to go, bro. And G1, we gonna talk a little later. About to get up and pull out myself. So I'm gonna let y'all go right now. We'll talk soon. Hopefully I see y'all tomorrow night. If not, I hope to see you when I see you over there on Zoom. And love you. Appreciate love you. I think G1 ain't said in a while, so he might be asleep. Other than that, peace.
Recording stopped.
And there we go. And over here on Instagram, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate love you. See you soon and always. Peace. And on YouTube Live, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate love you. See you soon and always. Peace.